These are 10 figures whose names became associated with oppression, war, famine, and mass death, and the choices that changed the fate of millions. 10. Benito Mussolini, born in 1883 in Predappio, Italy, the son of a blacksmith and a schoolteacher. In his early years, Mussolini was a socialist journalist, but World War I transformed him. He abandoned socialism and embraced radical nationalism. In 1919, he founded the fascist movement. By 1922, after the March on Rome, he became prime minister. Step by step, he dismantled democracy. Opposition parties were banned. The press was silenced. Political opponents were imprisoned or exiled. One of his most brutal acts was the invasion of Ethiopia in 1935, where chemical weapons were used. In 1940, he entered World War II alongside Hitler, a disastrous decision. Italy suffered massive destruction, hundreds of thousands of deaths, and economic collapse. By 1945, he was captured and executed by Italian partisans. 9. Kim Il-sung, born in 1912 during the Japanese occupation of Korea. He became involved in communist resistance movements. After World War II, Korea was divided. In 1948, with Soviet backing, he became leader of North Korea. In 1950, he launched an invasion of South Korea. The Korean War lasted 3 years. Estimated deaths, 2 to 3 million people. After the war, he built a rigid totalitarian state, a system centered on personality worship, political prison camps, extreme censorship, complete control of society. The regime he created continues through his family dynasty. 8. Ivan the Terrible, born in 1530 into Russian royalty. His childhood was filled with violence and power struggles after his father's death. At just 16, he became the first Tsar of Russia. Early reforms strengthened the state, but paranoia grew over time. He created a secret police force known as the Oprichniki. In 1570, suspecting treason, he ordered the massacre of Novgorod. Thousands were executed, property was destroyed, fear became state policy. After his death, Russia entered a chaotic period known as the Time of Troubles. 7. Leopold II of Belgium. Born in 1835, heir to the Belgian throne. His ambition was colonial expansion. In 1885, he gained personal control of the Congo Free State, not as a Belgian colony, but as his private property. Rubber extraction became the focus. Forced labor was enforced brutally. Villages that failed production quotas were punished severely. Estimates suggest around 10 million deaths due to forced labor, disease, starvation, and violence. It remains one of the darkest chapters of colonial exploitation. 6. Saddam Hussein, born in 1937 near Tikrit, Iraq. Raised in poverty and political instability, he joined the Ba'ath Party and steadily rose to power. In 1979, he officially became president. Within days, he eliminated political rivals, some publicly executed. In 1980, he invaded Iran. The Iran-Iraq War lasted 8 years. Estimated casualties 500,000 to over 1 million. In 1990, he invaded Kuwait, triggering the Gulf War. He was also accused of using chemical weapons against Kurdish civilians in Halabja. Sanctions and conflict devastated Iraq's economy. His regime fell in 2003. He was executed in 2006. 5. Pol Pot, born in 1925 in Cambodia, educated in France, influenced by radical communist ideas. In 1975, the Khmer Rouge seized power. He declared Year Zero. Modern society was to be erased. Cities were emptied by force. Money was abolished. Intellectuals, doctors, teachers, targeted. Between 1.5 and 2 million people died in less than 4 years. Execution, forced labor, starvation. nearly a quarter of Cambodia's population. He was overthrown in 1979 after Vietnam invaded. 4. Joseph Stalin, born in 1878 in Georgia, into poverty. He joined the Bolshevik Revolution and maneuvered his way to power after Lenin's death. He pushed rapid industrialization and forced collectivization of agriculture. The policies contributed to devastating famines, including the Holodomor in Ukraine. Between 1936 and 1938, he launched the Great Purge: mass arrests, executions, labor camps, the Gulag system. Estimates range from 6 to 20 million deaths during his rule. Fear was institutionalized. 3. Mao Zedong, born in 1893 to a peasant family in China. He co-founded the Chinese Communist Party and led the revolution. In 1949, he proclaimed the People's Republic of China. In 1958, he launched the Great Leap Forward, an attempt to rapidly industrialize. The policies failed catastrophically. The resulting famine is estimated to have caused 30 to 45 million deaths. In 1966, he initiated the Cultural Revolution. Schools closed, intellectuals persecuted, society destabilized for years. 2. Genghis Khan, born around 1162 as Temujin in Mongolia. After his father's death, his family was abandoned by their tribe. Through warfare and alliances, he unified the Mongol tribes. His military campaigns expanded across Asia and into Europe. Entire cities were destroyed. Civilizations collapsed. Death estimates from Mongol conquests may reach up to 40 million people. He built the largest contiguous land empire in history through relentless force. 1. Adolf Hitler, born in 1889 in Austria. He dreamed of becoming an artist but was rejected from art school. He fought in World War I. Germany's defeat fueled his anger and ideology. He joined the Nazi Party and rose rapidly. In 1933, he became Chancellor of Germany. He eliminated political opposition and established a dictatorship. In 1939, he invaded Poland, triggering World War II. The war resulted in 70 to 85 million deaths. The Holocaust led to the systematic murder of 6 million Jews, along with millions of other civilians. In 1945, as Berlin fell, he died in his bunker. His regime collapsed, but the scars remain. They were not monsters at birth. They became symbols of devastation when power faced no limits and ideology went unquestioned. History does not only remember victories, it remembers the cost. And in every era, the greatest danger begins when one person holds too much power and too few dare to resist.